Hello, swivel heads. It's Greg Allison Green Greg's coming to you live in the wee hours of uh, Monday morning, Sunday night for me still, and many of you on the 22nd of May, 23. Time on deck is 010600 hours Central Daylight Time. My friends, Russia claims they have won Bakhmut. They claim they've taken the city, and it looks like they have. But Zelensky is in denial, and they're also claiming that they're encircling Bakhmut. Really? Who's winning? Who is winning this war so far? For all the armaments we've sent over there, it's still quite a stalemate, it seems. But now it seems that the U.S., and contrary to the threats from Russia, is actually planning to send F-16s. It really looks like it. Supposedly, no decision's been made yet, but Biden did kind of take a swipe at the challenges that Russia put up, the threats that Russia put up. He's basically saying it's a bluff. And all the communications, all the lines, everything that's coming down seems like we're going to permit people to send F-16s, or our so-called allies and others, and maybe even us. A lot of these countries sending F-16s are probably wanting to upgrade to F-35s or something else, and we're looking to roll out a new fighter. So, guys, what is really cooking besides your stock opportunities at Lockheed Martin? Yes, our good buddy Canadian Prepper likes to point out. My friends, we are facing some crazy times over. This could escalate because what the Russians are claiming is that they're really at war with NATO, and yeah, I think they are. So, will they at some point strike back? Will they strike out? Or is their hand in Ukraine a lot stronger than what the Western media would portray? I would say they do have a stronger hand, and there's even Russian military defense. Not excuse me. There is Ukrainian military personnel actually saying that the Russians are not stupid and dumb, that they're really good at what they're doing. So I'll show you these articles so you can see what's cooking there. And guys, oh yeah, just to make the sauce a little more spicy, Biden put out a threat to China about invading Taiwan. Pretty good veiled threat. Sounds like a lot of the stuff Putin's been saying, maybe, I don't know, but he drew a red line. So guys, it's getting more intense. Things are ratcheting up. And guys, I just did a video earlier today on Sunday. Took me several attempts on this video. I had some issues with it, but just did a video on surviving EMP. And only 1,000 of you watched it. So I highly encourage you to go watch that video because it talks about what you'll need to do to survive in your local neighborhood and why you're going to need to form communities, because you're going to need to form squads, guys. Squads. Why? To take out things like you're going to be under pressure from snipers. How are you going to deal with that? What other YouTubers told you on YouTube how to deal with that kind of situation? It's on that video, along with perimeter defense, along with how you can actually grow enough food on a tenth of an acre to feed a family of 4. Details, what to grow, how to grow it, when to grow it, that kind of stuff. It's on that video, guys. You need to watch that video. I'm talking about water. Of course, I do the obligatory electronics, how to keep your electrical stuff alive. But I put that toward the end because that's the least important thing. Really and truly. Oh, that's the thing most people want to focus on when talking about surviving EMP. But I cover it. It is in the video. Watch it. That video is crucial. All right, we're going to go share some articles. I'm going to update. We are live right now. I have no idea how many people are joining at this late hour, but sometimes it's really surprising how many people come in. How many of you guys are night owls? We usually get a good crowd from around the world when we come in so late. So let's see how we're doing. Oh, yeah, we got a fair number of people in here, 63. Let's see what we got here. John Cole, Colonel Cole, good to see you, Colonel Cole. I'd like to see what you're thinking about all this. Cali Prepper, CM3 from Houston. All right. And we got Zinjamin, Traveler, Oak Tree, Mama Brew. Made some good comments on my other videos. I know she saw the video on surviving EMP. New days, old ways. Good to see you. I was hoping you'd be in bed, girl. Well, we're glad you're in the chat room. You're one of my you're my lead mod. Really, you take things real serious in here and do a great job at posting stuff. So yeah, we got a good crew filling in already. Sub-Zero to yeah, we got people from my time zone. Johan Dancing Gypsy, I'm ready to form a community. Time is running short. Amen. You're exactly right. Barefoot in Alaska. Hey, all right. Where in Alaska are you? So, yeah, sometimes it can be interesting being barefoot in Alaska, especially when it's like 40 below, 60 below. I've seen main base at Fort Greely back in the winter of 1981, when I was there, reached 79 below ambient Fahrenheit. Bolio test range was actually 80 below. So there you go. Hey, we got London in the house. Very good. How you doing, Tony? All right, so let's been a while, sir. Okay, Jade, good seeing you here. So let's share some stuff here. Let's go into some of the articles and show you what we're talking about here. Bing, 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 bing. Ah, la, 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 la. Boom. Some people say, Greg, you only got an American meaning. No, I don't. This is Sputnik here. Guess who's Sputnik? Guess who does Sputnik? It's Russian. And now, all right, hang on. You know, the Russians call Bakhmut Artemovsk. How you say it? Artemovsk. I don't know. Anyway, when I was in Russia, you know, I learned how to read Cyrillic somewhat, and I could tell you the name of the cities we'd go to before we got to them on the subways. But you know, I've been out there for a while, so my tongue is getting a little lacking in that now. But if I can say anything out here, hey Arnold, how you doing? Sub-Zero dude. All right, we're getting some good people here. What new days is ahead of me? Well, she's just in here more, and she posts a lot of links and stuff there. That's all she posts. She's really good at posting my links. So that's the deal. She's a really she's up in Eastern time zone. She's up in Maine. She's up late. She all right, Barefoot and AK and Matensk, yeah, I can even say that valley. The moment lived in Wrangell Mountains. I know where that is for a while. Saw my 70 for a month. Yeah, so a few years back, minus 70 for a month. Guys, listen, when I remember flying down to Anchorage and being 0 degrees, and I was saying heat wave, flinging off my park and saying, where's the beach? Pounding rain in Western Alberta. I guess that's good because you guys have got a lot of fires up there from what I'm hearing, a lot of smoke. So I hope that's not too bad for you. Matana, I can't even pronounce that. So, geez, my tongue is getting a little lacking here in these late hours. But see, all right, guys, this article is by Scott Ritter. Unfortunately, Scott Ritter, a lot of people cast aspersion on him, and he deserves it because he's actually a convicted sex offender. So it is a source of information. Whether that reflects on him as being a source of information, I don't know. He was a UN weapons inspector for some time. He's been quite involved in international weapons inspection. He's a little bit on the controversial side before he got. Sorry, JoJo says New Days. Hey, JoJo, we love you. So don't take any dispersion from that. Hey, well, Judy's in the house. Very good. Good to see you, Judy. All right, so let's get on with this, guys, because basically what he is saying is it shows Russia's winning. And honestly, from what I'm seeing, it's hard to argue with. Scott Ritter or not Scott Ritter, Scott Ritter aside, yeah, he is actually a convicted sex offender, though. And, you know, we know that there's something that Lee Quillbarger's pointed out, because he wants to disparage everything Scott says. But, you know, Scott Ritter aside, a lot of the articles in the news I've been seeing lately shows that the Russians are doing pretty darn good over there right now in that regard. So, all right, inside the back, this is another Russian news source, RT Russia Today. Inside the Bakhmut meat grinder, how Russia forced Ukrainians to retreat from their supposed fortress in Donbass. I'm not going to go through and read all this. It's late. I'm not going to spend a long time. Battery dead. Let's see. What's this? They're supposed to get up to 80 Fahrenheit tomorrow in Ohio. Jeez. Well, it's been kind of cool down here in Alabama for some reason. And I have no idea why I'm hoarse all at once. Oh, probably from yelling at Zoom and YouTube. Oh my gosh, I had so much trouble posting that last video. I had to do 5 takes. Zoom crashed me 3 times. The 4th time I really got it going, and somebody called and had to leave a message saying somebody's talking in the middle of the video, blah, 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 blah. So I stopped and started over for a 5th time. It's an hour-long video. It took me about 5 hours just to record it. Not to mention it took hours, it took days to make the graphics. All those pictures, I generated a lot of those pictures in that video, guys. That video took a lot of time to put together. So, you know, to have only 1,000 viewers and for such critical information, y'all need to go watch that video. Kimberly, some of you have seen it. All right, so looks like they're on the run, huh? Maybe. But they're supposedly encircling Bakhmut. And so what the Russians call it, they call it Arty Moskv, whatever. So now the Russians have said that that they believe the F-16s will take considerable losses if deployed. They think they can take them out. It's not our most advanced fighter, but it is a spectacular fighter jet. You know, don't short shrift the F-16. It's an amazing fighter jet. It's been one of our main workhorses for a long time in the U.S. Air Force. So I wouldn't short shift it, and maybe they will take them out. You know, they got really good air defense weapons in Russia, the S-300s and so forth. So S-400s. So they could be at risk. Hard to say. Hard to say. But the whole thing is that, you know, this is just up in the ante another time. Russia issues warning to West over F-16's escalation scenario. They're claiming that, and I've seen several other articles on this. Maybe it is under the way on the so-called escalation ladder, says Russian Deputy Foreign Minister Alexander Grushkov, or have you, that's not a cough, it's cold. Grushko, okay. So yeah, we'll have to see. I don't know, guys. They've drawn a lot of red lines, but a lot of times it's talk. Well, when are we actually crossing the real red line? Probably when we try to take, when we actually go in and try to take, if the Ukrainians try to actually take Crimea, that's probably drawing the red line. I don't know if the Ukrainians can take Crimea. I don't think they can pull it off, to be honest. I think they might isolate it, quarantine it, but taking it is a whole nother matter. So I've explained that in the past why I think it will cause them extreme losses in troops, and why that could cost them in such a way that they could lose the war. They might win a battle, but it would probably cause them to lose the war. I do not believe that Ukraine could pull off taking Crimea back. And I think if they try to, that we will risk a nuclear war over that. Now, they may try it. Pedophile. Yeah, that's what he was accused of. He's a sex offender. What he did is he apparently he was online, and some police were posing as 15 or 16-year-old girls and happened twice. So Scott Ritter is definitely suspect. He's got problems. Also, Greg, I didn't believe either side when the lines don't move much. Well, that's just it, Drops. They haven't been moving much. So we've been getting a lot of propaganda from both sides. Each one will claim a victory for their own domestic purposes and to open up, you know, more funding and support for them to continue to fight. But you're right, Drops. We got a lot of, hey, Meg Rising, we got a couple of Alaskans in here at least, right? We've got a lot of propaganda and counter propaganda. I've always said, guys, and we're in a fog of war, so don't really believe too much of anything you hear. But, you know, on the Western side, we hear it so much that Ukraine is winning constantly. I just thought I had to throw out a little bit of stuff to show. That's not such a straightforward thing, guys. But we are at risk at this war escalating. I don't know the F-22 can control several F-35s in the same time as we had AI in the F-22 way back. Good point. That's technically not PDO. Hey, he claims, now Ritter in his defense claims that the chat rooms he were in required people to be over 18 to be in them, even though the individual was posing as somebody else. I don't know, guys. That's not my business. But he got convicted. Let's just put it that way. He was convicted. Right or wrong, he was in there. He apparently exposed himself to somebody that advertised himself as an underage person. And that should have never happened. So yeah, he's got issues. He's got issues. So I'm not going to deny he's got problems, but you know, I'm not in the court. That's not ultimately my judgment. Got car started. Thank you for the prayers. Well, thank you, Kimberly. All right. So let's move on here. So guys, Hey, listen, I got a new sponsor for the channel, and it's C60 Purple Power, or the carbon 60 molecule, which is a tremendous antioxidant. You can just keep on and keep on removing oxidation from your system. I did a video a few weeks ago with Ken Schwartz on this, and it's amazing. I looked at Ken. I didn't realize Ken's my age. You look at him, he looks young. He looks like he's like in his 30s or 40s. That man ain't got no wrinkles on his face. He looks so young and fit. And I just heard Rex, I did a video Rex just last week, and Rex was saying that he's been reverse agent. And I know Rex has been doing this. So I finally got my product in from C60. Guys, it's amazing stuff. And I'll show you some stuff they sent me, actually. Hey, let me stop the share for just a second. Ding, 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 ding. I have to come back into it. Hey, they sent me several things. One of them is these little gummies. Now, I'm not big on eating gummies because, I'm doing a low carb thing, but there's only like 6 carbs in it. So that's not too bad. I could absorb 6 carbs. I didn't know, look at all that sugar. This is actually a berry. This is a tart. I'll show you here. Cherry. So that's the wrong size. Tart cherry, guys. Cherry. Yeah. And they're actually good. And all this stuff is pretty good. So, it's that's one way to get C60. Woo-wee. It's tart. It's good. They got this stuff in coconut oil. It's actually good. They got this stuff in avocado oil. I've tried them all. They're good. And they even got a little dispenser of cinnamon. Ain't that the way the minions say it? Cinnamon. This has got a dropper to it. I even got a little thing to go over my camera, to hide my camera on my laptop over here. Woo! So, man, it's a powerful antioxidant. So, I highly encourage y'all to go there, and let me go back to the share again. Bing, 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 bing. Wow. That's a powerful antioxidant. And when you do the shop now, when you go looking for this stuff in here, just type in a discount code of Greg10, get 10% off. So yeah, it's not cheap, but from the effects, when I'm looking at Ken and Rex, after Rex has been taking it a year, they say it takes about a year for this stuff to really kick in and show a big difference. Man, I got to get into this. I got to get into it because my calendar, the old orbits I made around the sun taking a hit on me. So I got to do something, guys. Back on this, Russia, Putin has been congratulating his forces on taking Bakhmut, or Artemovsk, however you say that, as they call it. But here's what the Ukrainians are actually coming to say. Top Ukrainian commander who's fighting around Bakhmut says military experts who portray Russian soldiers as only stupid and miserable are wrong. Now, I've been to Moscow. I visited their space agency there, and a company that landed a lander on Venus. I'm gonna tell you something. They put a lander on Venus decades ago, and I got to meet those people. They're incredibly bright. You can't land a spacecraft on the surface of Venus, which is twice as hot as a soldering iron, and be some stupid idiot. I'm gonna tell you that. C6 is not the product. Yeah, it's carbon 60 is what's in it. Carbon 60. Oh, it's not THC. No, carbon 60 is the Buckminster fullerene. It's a great atom molecule. Excuse me, 60 carbon atoms. It makes like a ball. It's kind of like graphene, but it's formed into a ball, and it will just keep absorbing oxidizers. So it's amazing stuff, guys. Let's move on. Wow. That is powerful. You're supposed to take it with some food. I'll have to eat a little nuts and drink something since I ate that thing. But anyway, so that had food in it. I'm thinking about it, so it's probably good. All right. Ukraine says, hey, we're semicircling Bakhmut. Semicircle. What's a semicircle? I don't think they made much penetration from the force maps I've seen. So I don't know. Jade at Green Grass, what's the funny look for? Do you still what? What are you asking him? Oh, okay. Who you use the C60 drops? Me too. I use C60. Well, how's it working for you, Drops? Now, see, Drops is an engineer. He's an electrical engineer, like myself. Obi, how you doing, Obi? Are you Obi-Wan? All righty. Now, this is it. Biden says that, hey, China's better expect a response if they cross a red line. And that's basically invading Taiwan. He's going to have to expect a response from the United States. Well, he said several times that we would come and militarily defend Taiwan. Be that right or wrong, that's what he's been claiming. But with what? How are we even going to do it? Well, thank you there, New Days, for sharing that link. So, hey, Chewy, how you doing, buddy? Guys, Chewy's had a rough time, guys. I just did a little short video today. I've not aired it yet on a garden tip for us old gardeners. I'm having a hard time getting around right now, man. I tell you what, I twisted my knee back a little over a month ago. Bad. I stepped out of my microgreens trailer at night and I stepped on a root or something and I went down, that knee popped and I thought I wasn't going to be able to move. And then that was my good knee. So then I put a lot of stress on what was my bad knee, and then it got hurting. And then my hips started hurting me because I was wonky walking, and I guess the inflammation kicked in. Now I've had bad ankles for a while. My ankles started hurting, probably because I used to run 12 miles every other day. So, whoo, guys. So I just did a video. You'll have to see it when I put it up on a gardening tip for seniors, because I just realized I made a huge tactical error in my gardening. Works good. I just listed my heirloom seeds I personally grow and test. It's not 90% germination. I don't sell it. Oh, you sell seed drops? That's great. Awesome. I'll talk to you about that. Maybe we can hook something up. Jeannie's got some products too. Yeah, by the way, I've been not using it like I should, but she sells beard balm and stuff like that. She's got a number of things that she sells. And so check out her products. I need to put some of this in my beard. I just took a shower. I'm knocking some of those seats over. But this guy's lumberjack beard balm. Check out, that's one of G's products. The Hey Jude Botanicals. So I'll give her a plug for that. Of course, I still love you. Never stop. Things happen as long as there is love and forgiveness. Oh, who you got to forgive there, Arnold? Me or somebody else in the chat room? Not too bad today. Chewy had, you can tell him yourself, Chewy. I don't want to say too much. Mama Brew, but hope you feel better soon. Sending healing vibes your way. Well, thank you, Mama Brew. Appreciate that. Guys, now, we could actually stop the Chinese invasion if they do what I said. Now, I've talked about this in the past. Now it's on Wikipedia. This wasn't on here when I first did a video on this topic. The United States is developing something called the Rapid Dragon. In the Rapid Dragon, basically, this is a pallet you drop out of a cargo plane, like a C-130, a C-17. You can drop these out, and several of them. And what they have is they have several cruise missiles in each pallet. And those are the AGM. Let's go to it here. These are the JASMs. And there was a link in there at one time to that. What happened? Oh, there it is. That's the AGM 158. You might remember Rex told me he saw one of these flying over when he was out in the desert. AGM 158 JASM. This is a cruise missile. Now, my concept for this was you take a solid rocket booster, like a single stick off of what they're using on the Space Launch System, and load it up with heat-seeking warheads, and then they don't even have to be a full cruise missile, just a warhead. That's going to give them the propulsion. You could load thousands of these on one of these boosters and launch it from Guam or launch it from right here in the Philippines. I thought I was up on this map here. Where'd it go? Yeah, since we're now going in with the Philippines. There we go. You can launch it from Luzon. We're putting a base in Luzon, or actually the northern part up here would be a good place to put these things. And you could take out everything the Chinese would. If they wanted to send a few thousand ships to Taiwan, they could all be taken out instantaneously. The downside of that is they would probably nuke us for that. So is it worth that? Well, it's not worth getting nuked over. Hey, CM3, thank you. Love is the answer. Amen to that. Amen to that. And that's what I tell you guys. We got to promote love in this world, not all the hatred that we got today. So CM3 is exactly right. But there's a lot of hatred. Somehow there are no airstrips left in Ukraine. Well, they must have something on file in F-16, but Lord knows the Russians have been putting craters and everything they could. So thank you, CM3. Appreciate that. Salute. All right. So, yeah, we could stop an invasion, but, you know, I put this out, it's been probably 6 months or longer ago when I talked about these concepts for how we could stop all hypersonic missiles, how we could stop all missiles and everything coming at us. Yeah, by use of something similar to this Rapid Dragon approach on these solid stick SRB boosters. I've talked about that on this channel and on my Galactic Greg's channel, guys. Anyway, so Zelensky's in denial about this. He's saying, oh, no, they haven't taken the city. Yeah, well, I believe they have. So, hey, guys, change the news here. Liberal youths are far more depressed than their conservative counterparts, especially the girls. Well, look at them there. If they're so malcontent and hollering and yelling, then, you know, I guess that could be. Holy smoke. If you're brought up to loathe and hate the country you're in and to loathe and hate the people you are, how could you not be depressed? I mean, isn't that a real attitude to have? Think about it. I anticipate the Kerch Bridge will go down soon. Yeah, it probably will. I would definitely anticipate they'll take the Kerch Bridge out. And so, like I said, they'll probably isolate Crimea. But taking it is a whole nother matter, unless they keep it isolated and quarantined for a long time. W tips for nuclear. Yeah. Zombies. Hey, I talked about zombies today in that video on surviving the EMP, guys. I actually talked about zombies. Oh, these are the zombies. I get you. Lord, yeah, how can you be a happy person when you're taught to loathe and hate your own people? All this self-loathing, all this self-hatred, nobody needs that. You know, hey, there's nobody that don't have issues, and sure, we have issues, but they're all things that, oh, the W-84. Ooh, interesting you should mention that. That is the warhead I selected in my white paper. I selected the W-84, although I could have selected the one from some of the other cruise missiles, which is actually smaller, but I actually selected the W-84 as a baseline for a balloon-based weapon delivery system. Oh, interesting. You should mention that. No Iron Dome for the U.S., I guess. Yeah, well, we could be developed. Yeah, I remember the BGM with a, yeah, W-84. Wow, drops. Yeah, I'm going to do a full presentation on that. I'll make a video in the not too distant future on my balloon white paper. I gave y'all just a little bitty peek at some of the stuff in that surviving an EMP video. Anyway, and another little topic: early Chinese patents. I don't know if I want to say the word. Adds to evidence of the pervasive bug lab leak. There's been a lot of stuff talking about that. Now they're talking that they think that this. I've seen another article out here. I've seen several articles where actually there are sources that believe that this stuff was loose in August of 2019 in China. Glad I caught that, huh? Oh, yeah, the zombie thing, I guess. Okay. Liberals live in fairyland on an imaginary world, unicorns and all. I guess so. If you got to believe in unicorns, you might be a sad individual. Guys, something's cooking. Literally, it might go up and cook big time. 60,000 tons. 60,000 tons of explosive ammonium nitrate got lost in shipping. How do you lose 60,000 tons, for peak's sake? How do you lose 60,000 tons of anything? You just lost it. Oh, well, we just fell in a crack somewhere. I don't know where. 60,000 tons. What? Excuse me? You lost 60,000 tons of high explosives? This is the stuff that McVeigh used in the Oklahoma City bombing. You know, took down a giant federal building, city blocks. 60,000 tons. Where is this going? What is it going to be used for? That's scary, guys. This is scary. What in the Sam Hill is cooking? Something might be cooking for real with this stuff. Let's hope that it went to agricultural purposes. Holy smoke, guys. That's frightening to think that's how Russian bunkers don't save them. Trudeau has lost it. Yeah, he lost it from the get-go. Just waiting for oh, you mean he'll actually be gone? That would be good. I'd love to see Canada free of him. Holy smoke. Yeah, it'd be good to see Canada get free of Trudeau and his kind. They're all, you know, he's protege of the House of Klaus, guys. Jeez. All right. Now, hey, you know, the Democrats always make out like they're the big fans of the poor folks. So why in the world are they coming after mobile homes now? They're going after everything. Now it's mobile homes that are target. Really? Mobile homes. You know, they want to put everything on electricity, but they don't want to harden the grid. They don't want to strengthen the grid. They're taking out power generation capabilities off the grid, and yet three-letter agency. Oh, I need to do a whole video on three-letter agencies, and I probably need to do it on Soilhead News channel. I got a bunch of stuff on that I really want to cover, and I really want to do that today. And I'm out of time, guys. It takes hours just to scan all the articles just to do a video like this. So I'm limited here what I can actually do. And that's why I'm on so late. You don't lose 60 tons of anything. You just reroute it. It might be a black op, a flag that's not so true. So I got to be careful what I say and communicate to you, or the algors that have no rhythms will kick in. And yeah, they deleted one of my videos earlier because they claim I had a video I was claiming something from the past was present day. I think it was showing a video of me and Rick's going through the tunnel shouting light. I did not make any claim that was a recent video. I don't know where they come across junk like that. Now this is interesting. So for all the fans of solar, it turns out that this may be carbon negative. This may release a lot more carbon in the atmosphere than it saves. Say, what? We're just putting the stuff out in the desert. Well, according to this article here, this is in, what is this? The Guardian. It's claimed here that all those little desert plants, the little bitty miniature trees and bushes out in the deserts where they're putting these in, that they're mowing down to put up these solar arrays, have huge root structures underneath them. And these root structures have sequestered millennia of carbon, millennia. They claim that this is going to cause all that carbon dioxide to get released into the atmosphere, which they claim is substantial. And that will be millennia worth of carbon being released for the trade of solar arrays that only last 25 years. Also, it puts at risk a lot of the little animals that are living out there in the desert, to include the desert tortoise, which I remember we were looking at doing a launch out in the desert. We had to do an environmental impact statement to deal with, make sure we weren't causing a problem for the desert tortoise. And yet they just go out and plow over hundreds of acres of desert land without any regard. Yeah, look at all these solar arrays, guys. Huge swaths of arrays. I've seen those mountains. Yeah, that looks familiar. I've driven through there. So yeah, it's going to give us 3% of our electricity, you know. 90% of the story is underground. This is where they're talking about the mycelium, the roots. 4,000 acres being covered here. Yeah, guys, well, 60,000 somewhere else. Wow, they're putting up these ginormous. Solar destroys life. Yeah, so you got people here protesting all these little bushes and trees. What's above ground is nothing compared to what's underground, apparently. So the ecosystem of the desert is more extensive than you think. It's not a nowhere. It's not a nothing. There is life in the desert, even though it looks Spartan. So they're talking about the ironwood, cat claw, mesquite, all those bushes and shrubs. So the desert tortoise here. Enormous carbon sink. Yeah, some of these plants are 2,500 years old. Creosote bush can live for over 10,000 years. Wow. Well, we're talking about the research. By digging these plants up, we're removing the most efficient carbon sequestration units on the planet and releasing millennia of stored carbon back in the atmosphere. Look at this. We are removing the most efficient carbon sequestration units on the planet and releasing millennia of stored carbon back in the atmosphere. Meanwhile, the solar panels we're replacing them with have a lifespan of around 25 years. So if carbon is really what you're doing this for, this is grossly negative. That's what this article spots out. So, wow, guys. This is not a good situation for the desert, and it doesn't even work for carbon saving, because it's actually going to put more carbon in the atmosphere by a long shot than it theoretically saves. Not to mention all the manufacture these solar arrays, then you have to dispose them. So what do y'all make of that, guys? This new stuff sure has large footprints. But Elon says a fraction of the desert is worth it. Been nuking it for 70 years. Yeah, but the nukes are small. Their area, they blow up. Well, he wants to put on all his electric batteries. He's got a battery plants everywhere. Elon's got a vested interest with his Tesla cars and battery networks and everything he's got a vested interest in saying stuff like that. He's also got a vested interest in defending China to some degree, because he's heavily invested in China. So he actually made a comment saying that China would eventually take Taiwan. There's nothing we can do about it. And he got a protest from the president of Taiwan over that. So, guys, I don't know. Guys. But hey, I will encourage you. Yeah. Well, yeah, we got the debt limit thing going too. There's a lot of disagreement on that still. But our debt clock is rising fast. We're about to hit the limit. That's our annual budget deficit right here. This is U.S. spending. Yeah, we're spending a lot of money. This is how much you owe the federal debt for every person. This includes man, woman, and child. It's a lot more when you think about it. Well, that's per taxpayer. Okay, never mind. Said it wrong. So, yeah, this is interesting website, usdebtclock.org. You can look at that yourself. But one of the bad indicators on money, and this has been dropping, US M2 money supply. It has been dropping like a rock continuously. That's a huge indicator of a coming depression or something like that. Anyway, guys, so we got some serious juju to deal with. That's why I do encourage you guys to go to my Patriot Supply, but use my link, prepwithgreg.com, prepwithgreg.com. You better go in here and check out some of these deals while they're available. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, 2,000 calories a day, make you a winner. And Drops is talking about seeds. You know, I do have you need heirloom seeds. Drops has got some. Go shop with Drop. But you can check out True Leaf Market. Also, check out Eden Brothers. I got links, both of these in my, like the video posted today has links to those. But guys, seriously, if you saw that video today, you're going to know that we need survival tribe networks. You really need to come in here and join this. You seriously need to come in here and join. Oh, we don't want to have an argument going here. Chill out. What's going on, guys? Don't be fighting, guys. Technically, the southern part of the USA will power the USA. But, okay, Drops, but what? This new stuff sure has large footprints. Okay, Arnold, I am smurfed on the other channel, but I'm not on Op-Ranch. Never bad. Oh, what's going on here? We got a debate running in the house here. SV Thor sailing. That's what blew up the port in Lebanon. You're right. That was a huge explosion. Exactly. And 60,000 tons is crazy. Hey, NARPNET's wife, there you are. I still got to get back to you. 60 pounds. No, 60 tons. 60 pounds is scary. You're right. 60 tons is yeah. Train cars, like several train cars. Who's going to prison? No one, probably. You know, jeez, that's the sad thing. Drops. Wife and me going to do a Sunday show. Might be nice to have you as a guest on that Rumble show. Okay. All right, just shoot me an email or something. We'll figure out a time to do something. Sounds like fun. Kathy Pittman Dawes, thanks for the heads up on the vaccine. Tonka, what's the efficiency? Well, efficiency aside, the whole objective supposedly to get down the carbon footprint, but how are you going to get it down if you're causing a lot more carbon to be released? Let's see here. Those windmills will kill beautiful birds. Those will, yeah. I'm actually working with a group that's got a different kind of windmill that don't. It's far different than those big 3-blade windmills. Far different. Arnold, well, I'm usually late getting in, but listen, okay. Oops, what happened? I'm blocked. Who's blocked? YouTube hates white men. Oh, the United States needs to cut its losses and get out of Ukraine. Says YouTube hates white men. Let's see. Dow says, Judy says unblock. What do we need to unblock? What's going on? Oh, what did I miss? I gotta go back further up to see what. All right, I missed some comments from earlier up. Yeah, you're right. Drops. What I really want to show, it's too dangerous to put on here. I probably will have to record it and upload it. What's that got to do with I'm talking about Trudeau? Let's see here. Just trying to see what folks are saying in here in New Days. We need to end NATO. Oh, yeah. It does take our money, guys. Let's see. I get a check back from Fedco Seeds. Good company. Okay. Fedco Seeds. Cynthia Stenstrom. How do you join? Oh, the Survival Tribe Network. It's easy. Just come up here and click join. It don't even cost you anything. Wise Owl paid for this site out of her own pocket, and she put up several grand, quite a chunk of money to put this site together. Call me anytime. All right. Well, I got to go back and find that email you sent me. Get your number. So maybe tomorrow. Let's see. Same here. Drops family garden. I have a refrigerator designated for seeds. I got a freezer full of seeds. Guys. They've been in there. Some have been in there for 10 years. I hope they're okay. Remotely due on motherboard bottom. Oh yeah, we're gonna look at earthquakes. Earthquakes have been crazy. Prepwithgreg.com. Thank you for that, New Days. You guys are funny. All right, let's see. Diamond may have me blocked on his primary channel. Arnold's going to inquire. Okay. I see. All right. Well, he and Lee are in something of a spat. I'm gonna have to leave that up to them to work out. None of my business. Anyway, all right, guys. So, anywho, guys, yeah, do come in here and join the Survival Tribe Network. You can use a moniker. You don't have to use your real name. Like Wise Owl. That's actually not a real name. It's just a real picture. Not me. I might as well put my picture up, guys. You know, the first rule of prepping, don't tell the world you're a prepper, but how do you not do that when you get on YouTube and you're also selling product on the internet like worms? So I got to do my own thing for that, right? Anywho, yeah. So that's pretty much what's happening there. So let's go ahead and look at these earthquakes. Somebody talked about earthquakes a moment ago. Where's my windy link? Thought I had a windy link open. Ew, I don't see it right now. I'm not going to try to open a link. It's not open. Guys, look at this. Look at all these earthquakes. Woo-wee. That's a big, that's about 6 something there, I'd say. Look at that. 6.1, Solomon Islands. Yeah, guys, look here, California. That's got to be a 5. 5.5. Man, bunch of them. We have to zoom in here on, what is that? That's a 5 something. 5.3. That's a 5 something. 5.2. Bonachis caused that big earthquake that was crazy. Tsunami took out so many people. Look over here. 5.0 in India. We got a bunch of them down here. It's the outer circle. Can I get the outer circle? Get an inner circle. There we go. We got the outer circle. 6.8. Prince Edward Islands region. 6.8. That's almost a tsunami generator. Wow. Japan down here. 5.5. Man. Oh, updated. Geez, guys. So let's see if we can zoom in a little bit. Looks like Puerto Rico's been rocking heavy. Look at all this stuff in Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico's got tons of earthquakes, guys. Man, they're really rocking right now. Let's come here closer and look what's going on. Wow, look, this side of California. Up in here. Look at that, 2.7. 20 kilometers east of Little Lake. Is that around the Nevada border with California? Mina, Nevada. Canyon Dam, California. That one's a significant 5.5. Yeah, that's where the San de Fuca, excuse me, San de Fuca plate there. That little corner of that plate rocks a lot. Costa Rica, no, that's Costa Rica. It looks more like Nicaragua. That's Nicaragua on the map. So it says, yep, Nicaragua. Oh, I'm just seeing the map says Costa Rica, so I'm below it. Oh, guys, there's a lot of earthquakes, a lot of activity. Oh, they updated it. Not so many. All right, now that they updated it, it's not showing as many earthquakes as it was when I was looking a minute ago. They're taking some off the map. Wow, guys. The earth is shaking and quaking. That's all I can say. And when you back out, you still see a lot of stuff here. Oh, I must have shut down my windy link. I thought I had it open. Now we'll look at space weather. Oh, yeah. Turns out Patriot missile system. I've seen where they now said that there was some light damage and they talked about it in more detail. This is an older article, though. It's a 5-day-old article there. So, guys, look here. Check out the sun. That's a huge sunspot, 3310. But it don't have the complex that you normally expect to see a lot of activity from, because you got to have several of these spots in a group. A lot of spots here, but none of them too big now. They might blow up. I wonder if that's the one. I think that's the area that kicked off a major CME on the other side of the sun. So maybe they are diminishing. That would be our hope, is that they're diminishing. So we saw supernova in the Pinwheel Galaxy here. The aurora activity is pretty heavy up north. So we got a couple of Alaskans in here right now. Y'all able to see anything? Earth is tilting. Magnetic fields are moving around. I don't think the Earth is physically tilting much. Asteroids. We're on the 22nd now, so let's scroll down. Yeah, we got one coming between Earth and the Moon today. New discovery, 2003 KS, coming at a pretty good velocity. It's 11 meters. It's not going to hit us. It's still too far away. Just hope we don't have some more companion lurking with it. Let's have a look at that one. I mean, there's nothing on this chart that I see that's scary. Orbit viewer. Got some velocities. That would be a fairly good size orbit. Yeah, see, it goes out to the asteroid belt. It's got some inclination against the plane of the ecliptic too. Okay, well, there we are. It's coming in close to us. but not close enough to hit us. And might have a small companion coming along with it, but that far away, I don't think we're going to see anything from that. So that's the only one that's approaching close that's on the scope here. That's the largest asteroid. No, that's the largest one, 506 meters. And this one is, it's not going to come close to this, guys. If it did, that would be a bad day. And it's got a lot of energy, so it goes out the asteroid belt too. A lot of velocity. Now we had one here that last time I was on here that showed y'all one of the velocity was almost 0. I told y'all that would be in Earth orbit practically, and it was. We got one on here with a velocity of 1. That's a small velocity. So the velocity of 1 is kilometers per second. That's relative to us, guys. All velocities are relative to something. Let's check this guy out. It's also kind of small, 15 meters. Could that be an old rocket stage? A little large for a rocket stage, 15 meters. Could be, though. Have a look at it. It's going to be close to Earth orbit. And it is close to Earth orbit. What did I tell you? So we might be getting a lot of visits from that guy. That one burn up in the atmosphere, especially if it's a rocket part. Rocket stage. All right, nothing to be scared of to any great deal here, guys. Nothing to be afraid of in the world of asteroids in the next couple of months. Actually, we don't know of anything right now that poses a threat to us in the next few hundred years. That's good news. DAP 2030 covers planetary alignments in relation to crop losses. Yeah, I think that's a little overblown. You know, think about it, drops in, you know, inverse square law, the forces we're going to get out of those planets. I don't know. We've had a lot of other planetary environments, a lot of alignments that people claim was going to do this, that, and the other, and nothing happened. So I'm not too concerned about that, at least not right now. So there we go, guys. I'm going to stop the share. I don't think I got anything else I'm going to share out of this. Stop share. Bing. Halo. Mag rising, but I don't get very excited anymore and run outside. Oh, every time you see a little earthquake or something. Liz covered this subject intensively. What is the subject Liz covered intensively, Arnold? It's been reported USGS doesn't look at all the accumulated data, and earthquakes are increasing in intensity and frequency. I've heard that claim. Yeah, the sun has been firing off some stuff. Yeah, there's a solar storm alert for a G1 storm. Yeah, I think that was on the space weather. I saw that somewhere. There's a G1 storm alert right now. One of you know the True Leaf market for grape. One of you know, yeah, the True Leaf market. Yeah, somebody post a link in here for that. Yeah, I do. I buy most of my seeds from True Leaf market, almost everything. Upheaval by John L. Casey. Yeah, I've heard of that. And I do believe Lee covers that, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see here. God is in control, no fear. All right. I agree, but not right now. You agree, but you don't agree right now. All right, drops. What do you mean by that? Man, I'm hoarse today. Sorry. Literally, guys, when I was doing that other video, like I said, I had Zoom crash me 3 times. It's got where, you know, when I was advancing my charts, I've always advanced them by clicking my down arrow on my keyboard. Now, if I do that for some reason, it just quits. So I had to use my mouse exclusively. So then I had somebody call in the middle of a video, and I just went and unplugged my phone after that. Anyway, expected through 2052. So what do we expect through 2052? You know, well, God's in control, but you know, he didn't promise us so we wouldn't have a rough ride. If you read the book of Revelations, you know, there's a lot of saints get martyred. So there's definitely some rough ride aspects to that time frame for everybody. Anyway, 2025. Oh, okay, 2025. That's his little alignment of 4 planets making a square. He talks about a lot. I like David Dumine. He's a good guy, but I'm not getting too excited about that one. Yeah, that's not something I get excited about. Just those planets are so far away. I don't see a lot coming out of that. We used to live in the country and grow our own food. Now cities are totally dependent on the farmers. Amen. Scooby Snacks, how you doing, buddy? Increased sunspot activity. Okay. Oh yeah. Definitely we're going to have increased sunspot activity because we're coming up to solar maximum. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. So and the sunspot activity has been a little bit concerning, guys. If you see my MP video, what I said is, look, if people don't get us and take down our grid, the sun will if we don't get something done in time eventually. If it's not this cycle, somewhere down the road. SEP Inland Semi Non-Commie CAO. SEP Inland Semi. Okay, I don't know if I really follow you entirely there, Gillespie. I'm not sure what you're trying to say. Anyhow, all right, guys. I don't see no point in going a lot later now. We've been on here for almost an hour. Let's see what's it say. We got 131 in the chat room. Not bad. 131 in the chat room. 56 minutes. Yeah, almost an hour. And my hourglass has got just a wee bit of sand left in it. I believe Judy gave me this. Bing, bing, bing. Oh, I shook it and it just ran out of sand. Turn it over. See that? I used to have a big one here. It had white sand in it, and I knocked it over and then broke it. Folks started asking me what happened to my hourglass. So there we go, guys. So we got an hourglass now. Blue moon, solar maximum. Yeah, we're going to get solar maximum. We're not even in the Roman warming period. Okay. Writing from semi non-commie, which means it's very close to being something else. Never mind. Okay. All right, Tony. Well, hey, appreciate you joining us from overseas here. Let's see, from across the pond. The solar maximum coincide with El Nino. El Nino's got its own cycle, I think. I know there are allegations that they are connected. There are allegations that those are connected, so it could be. Could well be. So it's beard balm here shortly. Anyway, these beard balms have got, they got a nice little smell to them. This is lumberjack. Judy asked me which one I favored best. She sent me a couple of different varieties. I can't say I got a favorite. It's got a nice manly scent to it, you know, kind of a forest type scent. On my nose. Anywho, it's nice to see you again, Rocket Man. Hope your new job pans out. I am still mainly working from other company, but I'm not working but 3/4 time right now, and I don't know how long that'll last. I'm working on some work that they bid per job, just a little bit at a time, and I think I got enough work to do me through maybe the first week in June. After that, all bets are off. I did an interview for another job here in town, and I thought that was Friday of last week, and I thought I'd hear back from them, but now they really liked my interview. And I always worry about these things. You know, it may be that, you know, they had to run it by their customer, and it may be, hi, Cassandra, how you doing? Good seeing the house. It may be these people may check out and see that I'm covering some of these topics on YouTube. It may squash any attempt I make. Some of these companies are now, so even in the defense industry, there's a lot of wokeness out there, guys. All federal contractors are getting ate up with wokeness. So I don't know where they stand on it. Maybe I'll get a good offer, maybe I won't. But I am working with this outfit trying to set up some stuff in Florida. And so there's a fair chance I'll be heading to Florida. But at this moment in time, I don't know. Good to know. Lumberjack is not. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. It's a nice beard balm. I recommend it. I'm late. have to start it over. Thanks, Greg. Okay, yes, do that. You can rewatch it all. Please do that. But make sure, guys, y'all go back and watch this video I posted earlier today. It's chock full of information on how to survive an EMP. I may take some of those topics out and make separate videos on them because there's several things in there. Well, email us. We will send you a soap promo. Okay. Okay. Email me, greg@greengregs.com. Drops, greg@greengregs.com. Email's on my website. You go to greengregs.com and you'll see my email at the bottom of every page. So it's not hard to find me. Just tell them you drink. Oh, I don't drink beer. Oh yeah, if I put on some pink ruffles, right, I'll be good to go. I don't know, guys. I had a battle with a jack outside Saturday, trying to move some stuff around. Can I post the wife's site? Yeah, sure, go ahead. The early videos was awesome. Well, thank you, Scooby Snacks. Appreciate that. It had 200 and some odd likes, but only got a little over 1,000 views. There you go, Gatsby. Yeah, that's what we used to say the frogs were saying back when they had the frogs on commercial. Loudy, 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 guys. Loudy, loudy. Don't steal my cute blonde wife. Uh-oh. I wouldn't take a man's wife from him, especially a friend on here. I don't date married women. Not my style. Not my style at all. Shoot, I hardly have time to date anybody right now. I'm just so darn busy. Just work remote and head up on to Maine. Forget about the hot, humid Florida. Oh. Yeah. Scott Ziegler. How you doing, Scott? Good to see you. All righty, folks. Yeah, we got 126 in the house. Not bad. It's like the longer we stay on, the more people we pick on, no matter how late it is. Well, hey, Drops, glad you have a cute blonde wife. So let's see here. Good for you. Drops has had some challenges in his life. He has been through some stuff, so he deserves some good breaks now. Chewy, are you still with us? Chewy's had a health emergency, guys. There he is. Beer makes good slug control. That's true. That's true. That's one of the things you can put out there and the slugs drop in it and drown. Don't go, Greg. Yeah, I don't know. Time will tell what's going to happen or not happen. This Florida thing could be a huge opportunity, but it's still not, it's a bird in the bush right now, as far as I'm concerned, bird in the hand versus a bird in the bush. Oh, guys. Grumpy Monkey Soap. Grumpy Monkey Soaps. That's a good one. Grumpy Monkey Soap. That's a good one. Grumpy Monkey Soap. All right, guys. You had a choice. Let me ask y'all a question. Third wife, 2 died. Yeah, I didn't want to spell it out, but I know you told me that. That's really sad. That's sad. That's tough to go through. Tough to go through. NM Condon. The enemy of my enemy is my ally. The lad ain't so bad. LOL. All right. So, guys, if you had a choice, these are great. I got 3 of these. Well, actually, I got a big one. I got the 1/2-inch drive too. These are great little tools. Good force multipliers for being out in the woods and building stuff. As long as you got that battery pack, right? Now, electrical tools they're force multipliers. They're great. Well, you got them. But if you had to bug out, if you had to make a choice, and you could only carry one of these or an old-fashioned bracing bit, which would you take? Tell me in the chat room. Which would you take? One of these or bracing bit? By the way, I got several bracing bits. I got more of those than I got of these. Or an auger, an old-fashioned auger with a bit on it with handles you turn. Which would you rather have? The bracing bit or the electric impact driver? Yeah, I did a video on Product Papa's reviewing 3 different brands of these. Brace and bits, says Judy. Oh, geez, got bags of them. Bags of what? Drops. These or the batteries? Brace and bits, says Will. Brace and bits, says Nightman's wife. You guys are smart. Brace and bits, says Ha Ha Tonka. Very good. I'm proud of y'all. Problem is, you know, you got to be able to generate electricity when the grid goes down to maintain these, even for a while. You know, problem is that eventually your generation of electricity is going to wear it, and these are going to wear out. These are good for a few years, as long as you get power, but they're going to wear out. Batteries go bad, things just go bad in them. Smell the ozone. Ozone, it's supposed to be a pollutant, right? So a force multiplier, well, you got them. They're also heavy, and you just can't rely on them in the long term. A brace and bit, man, those things can last generations. Yeah, they got bearings in them. Eventually the bearings will wear out, theoretically. And guys, I got a couple of old blacksmith blowers that have bearings in them that you rotate like that. They're over 100 years old. And they've been out in the weather and everything else. They'll still work. They still work. Over 100 years old. This chat is, yeah, we got a lot of smart people in here. Exactly. I got too many tools, says Drops. Yeah. TV hypnotically entertains your brain within minutes. Tim Leary rocked our world. Oh, he definitely was challenging things. And an expensive bit to go with the bracing bit. Okay. Yeah. An expansive bit. Yeah. That way you can have some adjustment. Yeah. Do different bore sizes. It's a good pick. Oldest bits I could find. Okay. When I was 4 years old, I used a bracing bit to drill a hole in the bathroom floor upstairs so I could see my mom without going downstairs. Uh-oh. Did you get in trouble, Judy? Did you find out? I know they had to find out. Yeah, I got several bracing bits. I mean, guys, get old tools. I got old wash pots. I got a hand, those rub boards. And actually, a New Day sent me one. He uses a musical instrument. I had a bigger one somewhere. It might be down here. It's down here somewhere. Just try to get me musically inclined. I'm not sure how well it's worked, but sometimes I'll wax a little crazy and play some of that stuff on it. Right? We got a small power bank that is solar powered, but we never know if the sun is going out. Like 565 when there was 18 months of winter. Exactly. There was no sun in the year what year was that? 536. Yeah, there was a year it was just cloudy, and the Romans wrote about it, and the Roman Empire basically fell. It was a real bleak time. A lot of empires fell. People were starving. It was a real sad time. I never got in trouble for that. Did they not know? Did you keep it hidden? Wow. The old timers make it those things that we can too. Exactly. They built a lot of good stuff. You could make a Gilligan's Island bite generator. There you go. Yeah, you could. But you're going to be, they also featured that in the movie Soylent Green. The Soylent Green was set in last year, 2022. So yeah. His mom never found out. I bet she didn't. Where can you buy wooden clothes drying rack? Oh, that's a good question. I used to have a couple of those accordion type racks, and I used to dry stuff on them, but I hadn't seen one in a while. I probably want you to use electric. They don't want you to do anything. It's not electric these days. Get all your hand garden tools and a large collection of hose. That's right, Chewy. Hey, by the way, I do have Lehman Brothers. Hey, D Ladybug, appreciate it. Salute, $10. Thank you, D Ladybug. Thank you very much. People starved. They found evidence globally in tree rings. Right. They sure did. It was a tough time. I'm in the Ozarks. I live life with those tools. There you go, Ha Ha Tonka. Appreciate it there, D Ladybug. All right. Constantine, let's see, what year was Constantine in power? Yeah, I have to go back and check that. It wasn't too far off from that. I'm not sure Constantine was Christian. He put up a big statue of Apollo, and what was that race track they had? And now he moved the Roman government to Constantinople. It's named after him, which later got taken over and became, the Byzantine Empire. Eventually, they got taken over by the Turks. LEHMAN'S or something like it. Yeah, I got links to LEHMAN'S, NARPNET. If you check my videos, Lehman Brothers is one of my affiliates. Ain't nobody ever from y'all, none of y'all ever bought and used my link to Lehman Brothers. So if you can find it on one of my old, I think it's even on the video I just posted today, earlier. I linked to Lehman Brothers. Let me see if I can find Lehman Brothers. I still got the Word file open that I used to make those links, I think. Ding, 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 ding. So I'm finding Lehman Brothers link. Now, I love Lehman Brothers. They got some cool stuff for homesteading. They got all kind of tools. Lehman Brothers got it all, guys, for homesteading, gardening. You want tools, especially the old-fashioned tools, Lehman Brothers got it. Wife asked why I use mostly hand tools. Now you know exactly. And it's a skill. You need to practice those skills. So it's good to do. Drops, you're on top of it. It's interesting. Electrical engineers are the ones in here promoting non-electrical stuff, right? Let's see. I can find our chat room in here. Ding, 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 ding. Where's it at? Where's it? There it is. Okay, yeah, I thought Constantine was a little earlier. Yeah, that sounds right, because the Council of Nicaea was like, what was it, 400s? When was the Council of Nicaea, folks? Right, here is my link to Lehman Brothers. Let's see. They have a store in Ohio. Yeah, 1816. Yeah, the year without a summer. That's when Tambora went off. And that's why the Midwest got settled, because the Northeast, people up there were starving to death with all the summer frost. We had summer frost in Alabama that year. Hey, Eric, how are you doing, buddy? Hang on. All right, Chewy, good. Glad you were in the house. There we go. There's the Lehman Brothers link, guys. Go to Lehman Brothers and shop, guys. Ain't nobody ever bought anything from them through my links here. So, Chewy, thank you, sir, for all you do. Keep up with the weather. Chewy's having a tough time now. My kids don't understand when I see old tools. There you go. Yes, yes, they are dependable, but a skid steer does the work of 10 men much quicker. But guys, I got videos of me running skid steers out here. So yeah, I definitely run some skid steers, and I probably need to post some more stuff on that. But on the other hand, if you don't have the fuel to run them, you're back to the shovel. And our ancestors did a lot and built a lot with shovels, guys. What really amazes me is if you look back in antiquity. Let me shut this down. If you look back in antiquity, look at all the castles and fortresses and cities built on top of mountains where they had to scale a sheer cliff to get up to them. That was an enormous amount of work to lift everything up there. And those communities on top had to be pretty self-sufficient, recycling as much as they could. And they had to use cisterns to capture as much water as they could, because anything that they weren't growing and producing there had to be hauled up that sheer cliff to get it there. So why in the world did people go through so much effort and so much work to build such enormous compounds in such a difficult place? That was horrendous what they did. They worked extreme hard for a long time to do that. The reason was security. That's why the old, in days of old, castles were built. Look at those castles, tons of stone assembled. You see our kids today building something like that? Can you see them putting out that kind of work? That was back-breaking, arduous, big, heavy stuff. And they didn't move a little bit of it, they moved lots of it. with manual power. That's how important it was for survival, for security. Because in the days of old, warfare was the rule. And tribes and groups of people were out in the open would quite often just get wiped out. Back then, wars were kind of commensurate to a nuclear war today. A nuclear war today is about the only thing that would just about wipe us out. Back then, tribal warfare would go through, and one tribe would hit another and just wipe everybody out. They might keep the women and kids, or at least the women and some of the kids. That was about all that was survived. They'd wipe out the men. If you were a man, you lived in a tribe back in the day, you were a warrior if you were anybody. Or you might be a wise old sage that was teaching them and maybe napping a flint for the warriors. You get disabled. Now they find even the Neanderthal actually cared for their disabled. So the Neanderthals had empathy. They were human. They did art. You know, they buried their dead. They must have had religion, art, taking care of this disabled Neanderthals. Yeah, they were human, very much. Territory lookouts for the regional kings like Germany. Yeah. Well, they had lookouts, but they also built castles way up in these sheer cliffs all the way around some of these spots. You know, sitting on top of them, castles, fortresses, compounds, small towns, villages. What they put up there is amazing. The amount of work it took to do that is mind-boggling. But they did it for security. That's why I've talked in my video about survival in EMP. I talked quite a bit about security. I talked about perimeter defense. I talked about foxholes. I talked about putting down a final line of protective fire if you're about to be overrun. I talked about how you need to be spaced when you're on maneuvers, how you need to keep your mouth shut and give hand signals. The exception to that is if you're taking out a sniper, because already they know who you are and where you're at, and you're advancing on them and shooting at them, then your location is pretty much known. So when you've got teams of people, ones that, you know, they're switching, advancing and covering for the one advancing by putting fire down on the sniper where you can't pop his head up and take out the guy that's advancing, then you can shout at each other. Move in. If you're about to move in advance, you say move in, but the other guy, you know, has got to say ready or something, so you know it's okay to move. Ready, you know, that means I got you covered. Ready, moving, ready, moving, or something like that. You need a couple commands, real simple, and then you can be loud. My screen name is Castle. Okay, very good. After all the toys are gone. Yeah, the toys will be gone, so we got to know how to survive without them. At least all our electrical toys. So, Chinook Preparedness. How you doing, Chinook? Are you in Alaska? That's where we get the breezes called Chinooks. Are you connected with the helicopter Chinooks? Loose lips sink ships. They do that. They do that. Okay, everybody. We got a prayer request. I said we pray for new days. She hasn't had that leg surgery. We pray for Miss Mapley, who she's been looking after. Let's especially pray for Chewy Weather. He just had a couple strokes, and he's not got full use of one of his legs. He's having to give up a lot of his gardening. Ukraine will loosen enough. Nick, I think they will eventually. I mean, just numerically, time is not on their side unless they can make some big victories fast, but they're not showing any sign of it. My brother got the toilet bowl. I got the sniper. Let's see, Western Alberta, Fairbanks, Alaska. All right, very good. Okay, while we're at, before we start the prayer, y'all go ahead and tell us where you're from, everybody. Just pop in and tell us where we got 120 in the room still. That's pretty good. Where are you from, and mention your prayer request you got while you're at it. And we'll do the prayer. Praying for you all. That's a good one there, Sandra. Pray to be accounted worthy to escape from this great and terrible day of the Lord. There you go, Sub-Zero. Pray for my financial dilemma. Yeah, Judy's got kind of a thing going on there. So she's had some challenges with the government. her retirement. Wow, the drying rack is over $100. Are you serious? Wow. All right, cowgirl in Arizona. Well, I hope you're in Arizona. Southwestern Missouri, West Central Alberta, Canada. Oh, we got a couple of Alberta folks in here. Very good. Chinook, have you ever met Arnold Smith? Let's see. Pray for everyone cause we all could use some prayers. You're right, Nightman's wife. Gwinnett City, Georgia. Okay, very good. We got another Eastern time. Texas, Eastern time zone. $135 for a brace. Really? Wow. After generation 6 for God. Oh, Genesis. God started to wipe out everything. Why? Johnson Nephilim. Nephilim survives. Hey, John, how you doing? Could use some prayers. Been dealing with a couple of health issues. Okay, John, you got it. Trenton in Gainesville, Florida. All right. I was looking at land in Alaska. Are you really? Alaska is the most beautiful state there is, I believe. But like I've said before, if I moved up there, I wouldn't be moving back to Alabama after that. Prayers for your healing, Greg, so you can keep on keeping them. Well, thank you, traveler. I could definitely use some of that. My knees, my ankles, and my hips are all mighty sore right now. Mighty sore. All righty. Not met. Okay. Well, Alberta's a big place. I've been through a couple of areas in Alberta. I believe Trutch Mountain is in Alberta. That was an interesting place to drive on the Alaskan Canadian Highway, the Alcan. Trutch Mountain, spaceship breakup. That was interesting driving. Your mom's a horrible person. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Telly Savalas. That sounds almost like the movie star name. Well, sorry to hear that. There are people that have problems with their parents. One rack, 129, another 119. Wow. Holy smoke, guys. See if you can just make wooden drying racks after the grid goes down. That might be a good skill. That and clotheslines. People want to do things the old way. Why is my nose red? I don't know what we got into there. Thankfully, I will step up on people. And thankfully, I will still step on people in Walmart if I don't look down. Uh-oh, drops. Kojak. Oh, yeah, Kojak. That's it. He played Kojak. Telly Savalas. That's right. So Telly Savalas in the house. Played Kojak. He also played the Pharaoh, Ramses, and Moses, right? What was that? Moses wasn't named. They was the Ten Commandments. The Ten Commandments. He also played in a lot of Westerns. All right. Big Dane Swede. Okay. That tall, huh? Put the clothesline. You're right. Put the clothesline. All right, folks. Let's do the prayer. Everybody's tell us where you're from. Boondock. My mom says I'm a good boy. Curtis Stone and Nathan Brother have been working on land research videos. Curtis has it down to science when he's looking for good land to survive. I hope it's good. I tell you what, you subscribe to his course, you better use his material soon, though. He charges a lot for it, and they'll take that stuff down. Yeah, I subscribed to his microgreen course, and I didn't even go through it all. And next thing I know, a lot of the stuff's not there anymore. I was not happy with that. I'm gonna be honest, I was not happy with that. So yes, I will just need something during rainy weather. Okay. Thank you there, Scooby. All right, let's say our prayers. Now, this is not a religious channel, but we're family here. All these people that join my chat room, you're regulars. And so we're family, guys. And family prays for family. And if you don't believe in prayer, a moment of silence is going, but everybody can pray according to whatever faith you have. I'm not going to be dictating that. Yo, Brenner. Oh, you're right. You're right. Kojak was Telly Savalas. Yo, Brenner was one from, they're both slick-headed. I get them confused. You're right. Yo, Brenner was the Western star in Ten Commandments. And Kojak, the cop from New York. Yeah, that was Telly Savalas. I'm sorry. You're right. Thank you for correcting me on that. Not going to yard sales next week. Uh-oh. Well, I am going. Pardon me, I read it wrong. I'm going to yard sales next week. I hope that helps you out, Judy. Mutiny Grim. Okay. All right, folks, let's say our little prayer session. Yeah. All right, guys. Can you put up 2 ladders and put up some large PVC pipes across? What are you going to do with that? Telly Selassie also played Judas, Pontius Pilate. Wow, how horrible a role to play. Yeah, no kidding. You got to play. I'm Junior. Oh, really? Telly Selassie was your dad? You serious? Wow. Telly is my dad. Wow, that's awesome. Anniston, Alabama. Hey, all right. My brother passed away, Ed. He used to work in Anniston, the Army Depot down there. So after he got out of the Army. Oh, let's see here. Gail Firestorm, amen. Well, that's cool, Telly. Maybe you got some stories to tell. Yeah, do you use those little, what was those suckers he used to always like to Kojak? I always had a little sucker he was walking around. Lord, show the people the divine wisdom of the Father. I think that's coming. All right, that was to making, oh, an indoor drying rack. There you go. PVC pipe with ladders. Oh, I got you. All right, start talking PVC pipe. I'll start thinking greenhouses and aquaponics and stuff like that. Well, yeah, that'll work. So you better get some good PVC to be able to hang things. Tootsie Pops. That's it. I can't think of the name of it. Tootsie Pops. Yeah. I got a Tootsie Pop joke for y'all. I'm sure some of y'all have heard it. What does one polar bear say to another about an igloo? Some of my Alaskan buddies in here ought to be able to answer that. We got a couple of guys from Alaska in here. What does one polar bear say to another about an igloo? And I give you a big hint. I said this is a Tootsie Pop joke. You should be able to get it. That's all our gardens this year. Amen to that. So in honor of Telly Savalas and the Alaskan folks in the chat room right now, what does one polar bear say to another about an igloo? Nobody can come up with it. You can fill plastic sheeting in a frame with water and make a magnifier to cook with. Yeah, I've seen that. All righty, guys. Yeah, that's a good tip. All right, I have to tell you the answer to the joke, Mama. Oh, she said coming soon. Okay. All right. The answer to the joke is this. What does one polar bear say to another about an igloo? These are great. They're crunchy on the outside and chewy on the inside. Where's the toilet paper? Is that what they say about the igloo? You might need one after chewing it up. That's the Charmin commercials of the bears, right? All right. They're Crunchy on the outside and chewy on the inside. Yeah, where's Chewy Weather when we need him? He just bugged out. Biblical prophecies unfolding before your eyes. Sit back and have no fear. Well, you know, it's still no excuse not to be prepared. I tell you guys, you got to be physically prepared and spiritually prepared. That ease your Brenner. Didn't spend time in Fort Greely. Okay, I did. I lived there 2 years and almost a month. Well, I went back to the States for a little bit, so I've spent 2 years there. Fort Greely, Alaska, 100 miles from the nearest red light. Yeah, buddy. Fort Greely was an interesting place. It was called the home of the rugged professional. Outside, we call it the home of the ragged professional. That was our moniker. Home of the ragged professional. Supposed to be rugged. All righty, folks. We've been here a long time. We've now been here 90 minutes. I think that's long enough. So I've covered all the ground tonight. I got other material I'd love to cover on other channels, but it's too late to launch anything new. It's late. Y'all been with me for a long time. I want to thank you all for coming in here. We got 106 in the room, 119 thumbs up. If you're not giving me a thumbs up, please keep well. Please don't square the Sherman. Not the Bears. Now has the Bears on. Okay. Elsewhere else though. Okay. Everywhere else. Alrighty. So you've been everywhere else. You've been all over Alaska, not at Fort Cobb B. Coldest place I've ever seen in my life was Delta Junction. Well, that's the community right next door to Fort Greely. Now, I was at Fort Greely when the very first fast food restaurant got opened in Delta Junction. So who can tell me what kind of fast food restaurant would have been the first one opened in Delta Junction? It's probably about 1982 that they put a fast food restaurant in Delta Junction. I remember it's 100 miles from nearest red light, so fast food thing anywhere that remote is pretty credible. So what would they want for a fast food restaurant in the coldest place that John B ever been? That's the coldest place I've ever been to, by the way. A lot colder than what we call the Banana Belt, South Alaska Range, where Anchorage is at. I'll get Greg. Peace between you and me. Oh, why would we not have peace, Arnold? What did I say? If I said anything that would challenge peace, McDonald's, no. Dairy Queen, that's closer. That's a little bit closer. Not a Dairy Queen though. Good guesses. 1 on 4 a.m. for me. Yeah, we're about to call tonight, guys. Dairy Queen, nope. All right, I'll tell you. Tasty Freeze ice cream. Yeah. There's nothing like you. It's 60 below outside. You're driving your pickup truck. You're having to pick between whether you can see out the window in front of you. You're running the defroster just enough to have a open hole to look out from the hoarfrost that's forming on the inside of the windshield. Hoarfrost forms from the condensate of air, moisture in the air, and it will get big. It'll form on the windshields inside your vehicle. The side windows, you'll have like a bubble of plastic called a vapor barrier, and you'll put one on the back windshield. That vapor barrier prevents the formation of hoarfrost. Just little plastic shields that stand off in the window. But yeah, you're looking at that front windshield, and to be able to see out it, you got to put the defroster on as much as you can stand. Now the radiator is totally covered over with cardboard, so no air will flow through the radiator because you don't need air on that radiator. So the radiator is entirely covered, and yet you're having to struggle to be able to see out your windshield, but you can't bear just to run the defrost because your feet are freezing. So you're sitting there switching between defrost and running a little heat to keep your feet from freezing, and you're on your way to get ice cream. That is Alaska, buddy. That is Alaska. So imagine that. Yeah, I'll tell you what, you go up there and you'd ask for a small scoop of ice cream, they're going to put a scoop about that big around on your little cone. And you'll eat it. And yeah, it's so cold up there, you'll need the calories from it. You'll burn it up. You're not going to be putting on weight from that stuff. That environment up there will take it out of you. And that's why they would eat ice cream. Yeah, that's nuts, right? Some have had a sense of humor. Okay, difficult to defrost or scrape. Yep, yep. The depot is still there and going strong. Very good. I found a dozen four-leaf clovers 2 days. Gamma rays, I don't know. Maybe you're just lucky. Maybe luck's coming your way with that stuff you're dealing with. Yeah, 100 yards. Yeah, 100 yards, you're sucking wind. Hey, and any of you that's been to Fort Greeley, like and Delta Junction, like John B knows, Fairbanks is cold, but we don't have the wind like Delta has. Bingo, the wind is the main thing up there in Delta and Fort Greeley. They've had a meteorological team there since 1947. And last time I checked, they said there was never a month, never a single month that they did not have straight line hurricane force wind. Hurricane force every single month with wind gusts up to 100 miles an hour. The wind would scream through the buildings and complexes. I mean, it would scream. And it would do it for hours and hours and hours. And it would scream and howl, the wind would. It was huge. It was horrendous. You had to build buildings good up there that would blow away. You couldn't have just chintzy stuff, you know. And let me tell you, I have seen people walk outside and get rolled over by the wind. Before I brought my wife up the time, I told her, before I bring you up here, you better put some rocks in your pocket, girl. I had to reach out and grab her a few times to keep the wind from knocking her down. And I was walking to work one day. I'll finish this. I'll fly in, LOL. I was walking to work one day. I could walk to work faster than I could warm up my vehicle to drive it for a short trip like that. And I stepped over one of these piles of snow that had pushed out of a parking lot. What so happened was slick on the other side. So when I stepped over it and stepped on that slick side, I started falling backwards. Well, your reflex to falling, you know, I threw my arms out to kind of catch myself. I threw my arms out like this. The wind, I'm falling backwards. I mean, I'm like this. The wind picks me up. The wind picks me up, pushes me back upright. And I just kept on walking. I go, wow, people in Alabama ain't gonna believe this. Time to go in the ground. It may be. Seriously, guys, the wind picked me up. So I've had some adventures. Alaska is a very interesting place. You could stand on the pavement where, you know, where it's all just ice. You drove on ice up there. I've had policemen, no, you can't drive on ice. It's impossible. Well, you fool. That's all you had to drive on. You had to learn how to drive on ice. But guys, check it out, guys. So if you wind up there, all you had to do is point your feet in the same direction, open your parka, and you could sail across the road. There's been semi trucks hit broadside by that wind, just taking off the road, deuce and halves, take off the road. So you had to be real careful driving the truck up there. It's challenging. Alaska's tough, just by design and building buildings for the wind direction. Yep, yep. Did you enjoy the 2 weeks of summer though? That was about it. Hey, the first year was up here, it got to, I think 80, 81, 82, maybe even 83 for all of 3 days. My first year in Alaska, it snowed on the 15th of August. Everything turned brown for 2 weeks. So we had a 2-week autumn. The tundra and so forth turned brown. Looked like autumn up there in those little, hey, you go up the hills like Donnelly's Dome, and there'd be little bushes yay tall, but there'd be blueberry bushes. You could put blueberries off of them in the summertime, but they'd only be about yay tall. They'd have blueberries. It's kind of tundra. But and the tundra looked pretty, had autumn colors and wasn't quite like, I guess, Vermont. But the first day of September, snow, and it was snow all the way up to probably May. I've seen people standing on lakes ice fishing in the month of May. So igloo is the best design. There you go. Better footwork than Michael Jackson moonwalk. There you go. Mariah was looking for you. Oh yeah. They call the wind Mariah. Anybody ever, when I was a kid, I saw that in the theater, Paint Your Wagon. I thought I died laughing. I was laughing myself to death, silly for that whole movie. That was a funny movie. All righty, guys, we've been here long enough. So, well, at least we ended on a positive note. Yeah, but it's usually 68 there if you're lucky. Yeah, in the summertime. Whew. Yeah, you acclimate to it, though. You acclimate. I did. I acclimated to it. And I need to die when it came up. Breakup is over and mosquitoes came out. Oh, loud. mosquitoes. I walked out in the woods behind my house and looked down at myself, and I'd be wearing green, but all I saw was black. I've been completely covered by mosquitoes. You can't even see your own clothes. I mean, I knock them off and take off running, just get away from them. Thinking I had gotten rid of them, I stopped and looked at my back and had my back covered. Yeah, wow. It's a wonder some of those animals could survive. I like to pan gold. There's gold up in that Yukon River. That's a good place to go panning for gold. And there's other places. I'd love to go up there and have some leisure time. I was busy the whole time I was up there. I was working myself silly. So I didn't get a lot of time to enjoy things like I would like to have. So maybe one day I can get back up there. I love to go fish in Alaska. Oh gosh, you're not permitted to use live bait in Alaska, at least back when I was up there. And I went out with Ed Cocker's been on my channel here. I've interviewed him. He's a geologist. And we went out and took a Boy Scout troop to camp out. And these scouts had some little short line and just some bare hooks. They said, we're going to go catch some fish. And I just thought that was funny. And I kind of snickered myself. These kids think they're going to catch some fish with that. An hour later, they come back with a stringer full of pink salmons. Wow. Yeah, the lake, pink salmon out of a lake. Had a whole stringer full of them in just an hour. So that was funny. Of course, that was a trip I got left. We came in 2 cars. And I wanted to go hike back over the mountain. I told someone, I said, look, I'm going over the mountain up here. I want to check out this trapper's cabin I'd seen earlier next to the lake. I'd seen where people were ice fishing. I said, I want to go check it out one time before we leave. And I came back. Everybody was gone. Ed told me that, he was in the last car. He says, where's Greg? And some other kids said, well, he went with the first vehicle. So he thought I was gone. So they all left me. I come back. We're 20 miles out from town base anywhere. We're out in the wilderness. I was stranded 20 miles out in the wilderness and had to walk out. Yeah, that was one of my unscheduled 20-mile hikes. I mentioned 20-mile hikes in my video I recorded earlier today. I used to do that kind of stuff. So you use white flies and fly fish. Oh, I don't know. Maybe you can do that, but the live bait was prohibited when I was up there. So anyway, folks, the rain is called Tess. Okay. Same as in Montana. Alrighty, guys. Alaska was a very interesting place. Got to watch the moose up there. They kill more people than any other animal. Folks, thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for being here. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you, mods. And it's time to go to bed. So thank you all for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank y'all for being a family. We got some showers. Good, good. Glad you guys up my bird against showers. Hope it stops the fires and the smoke. I heard that even Denver and down in Colorado, they had smoke from your fires up there. That's rough. Debt ceiling not being raised, Biggie. And yeah, well, it's going to be, it's going to be interesting to see what's coming. This next week is going to be interesting, maybe in the Chinese sense. So we'll talk some more about it in the not too distant future. John, love you. Thank you there, John. Greg, how is Ed? Ed is in assisted living right now. He's not in good shape. Yeah, he laughed when he told that story on you. Yeah. I told you guys. Yeah, Katie's met Ed. So Ed's a great guy. I feel sorry. I feel for him right now. Epilepsy's got him where he can't live by himself anymore. So it's getting bad on him. All right, guys. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for being here again. Thank you, mods. Thank you, super chatters. Thank you, everyone who gave me a thumbs up. And thank y'all just for being here and being family. So with that, I am going to say good night there.